Next up was the AEW TBS Championship. Mercedes Martinez versus Chris Statlander. And dude, this match right here, along with Hikaru Shida's win on Wednesday night, has almost confirmed to me that this AEW women's division is back on track. I know it's like really early to say that. It's just one episode of each show, but it really feels like they heard people talking and they were like, okay, we got you. You know what I mean?
But Jeff, haven't you heard the AEW women's wrestling is just going back to the Diva era? Haven't you heard?
Dude, that's the most
Haven't haven't you don't you
ass
read the news,
backwards.
Jeff? It's over. It's all over. AEW's over. It's the
It's
end
so
of
funny
it's the
how
end.
a lot of those E drones that spout that nonsense, it's like you're supposed to be saying that about the E, like they're heading back to the Divas era. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, they're the ones
AEW is
that
as
didn't
far
have
from it
a
as can be.
yeah, they're the ones that didn't have a fucking women's match have like women's wrestling featured at all. And then when Triple H was asked, which by the way, like I mean, we could talk about SummerSlam in general, but that media scrum, wrestling media, right, is like the most ridiculous thing, and the double standard is just so irritating.
Yeah.
So they do this media scrum yesterday after SummerSlam with Triple H and all the wrestling media there. Tell me how out of all of them, Brandon Thurston's the only one who asks a goddamn question. Like it is the most absurd thing that these media members go in there like, so how was Detroit hosting SummerSlam this year? Why was Austin Theory in the Battle Royal? And I'm just like, bro, the feds have raided Vince's house. Like if Tony Khan was in the situation that WWE was, where like Shad Khan's, not even Shad, if his house had been raided by the feds,
Yeah.
or like if they had these terrible endings to their shows, like the media and these scrums would like and online would be tearing AEW apart.
Well,
And
that's
you media members are gonna sit there with your privilege and your badges and ask the most vanilla softball question. So my hat is off. I'm not wearing a hat tonight. It is off to Brandon Thurston for being the only one there who had the balls to ask a legitimate question, which was about Vince. And because Triple H is used to getting these softy questions, of course, all he can say in response to being asked about Vince McMahon being, all that stuff going on with him is, well, without Vince, like, pro wrestling doesn't even exist, brother.
yeah.
Oh my God, I hate them. I hate them. Hate so much. Anyways,
It is what it is. But let's get back on track here. Like I said, the AEW women's division is absolutely back on track. If it even was, I'm not even going down that road there. But this match was tremendous. Statlander looks incredible. That promo Statlander did on Dynamite is one of my favorite promos of all time, where she was squatting Renee Paquette. That was
oh yeah,
absolutely hilarious and incredible. I'm sorry, that was on Rampage, wasn't it?
it
Um,
was on
that
Rampage.
was
It was very good.
absolutely hilarious. I was dying. One of my favorite promos of all time. Um, and you know me with Mercedes. I'm not a big fan, but a couple of weeks ago, or maybe even just a week ago, she had a really good match that I was kind of surprised. I was like, wow, okay, good job. And then she comes and does it again here tonight with Chris Statlander, man. Like this match was freaking awesome. Um, I just say keep it up. You know what I mean? Everything seems like it's on track.
I agree. I thought this was. I feel like it was my favorite Mercedes match. Um, Obviously,
100%, absolutely.
I'm a huge Statlander fan, so I thought this match was great. It was really enjoyable. The crowd was into it. They were chanting women's wrestling
Yep.
again. I thought we were going into the Divas era, but you know, I guess that's not the case. Um, But I thought it was good. I was also kind of intrigued by the ending of the match that Diamante came out. Now, Diamante, for those that haven't been watching Ring of Honor, has been kind of more of a babyface. She kind of turned for a little bit in Ring of
Okay.
Honor. But so she came out, and you think she's going to stand up to Mercedes because again, is a babyface on Ring of Honor. Right? But nope, she joins in and attacks Statlander. To which
Oh, I was
case
pissed.
Willow comes out and saves. And I think it is kind of interesting to see the women on Collision. Now, clearly, it's because they're doing Ring of Honor booked with Collision. So that's why you're seeing these women that are primarily showing up in Ring of Honor being used on Collision. So it makes sense. Um, but I think it's cool. I think it's cool that it's, you're giving people like Diamante and Mercedes. Like Diamante's been with AEW since year one. No one ever talks
Yeah,
about Diamante, but she's been there for a long time.
I love
So
Diamante,
it's good
man.
to kind of get her on Dynamite, or not on Dynamite, but on AEW television for the first time in years. I mean, like outside of Rampage and Dark, Diamante was like a Dark wrestler, maybe doing a Rampage every once in a while. So
Yeah.
getting her on Collision, I think, is really cool. And Willow and Chris Statlander is a team that I absolutely need to see more.
Oh yeah, that would be great to start seeing some tag matches in the women's division with, Stat combining up with some of the original girls and some of the new, Willow and some of those. I like it. So yeah, Statlander wins this one via roll up. And Mercedes is very adamant to the ref that she kicked out, to the point where I almost thought the ref may have accidentally counted 3 here. But it was immediately shown that she was just going to be using this kind of an excuse to attack after the bell. Diamante comes out, like you said, and she attacks. Willow comes out for the save. This was awesome, man. Statlander looked super strong in the match, and I just I love that AEW, the women's TBS championship belt. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but the TBS championship belt. I love that belt. I think Jade did a great job putting prestige on that belt for as long as she held it and all that stuff. So absolutely loved this.
Yeah,